Oh, jeez. Okay. What's up, everybody? Yeah. I know y'all probably like, what's going on, Q? What's happening? I know I dropped some news for you guys on Friday night, Saturday morning about my departure on Twitch, and I know a lot of y'all been asking me like, what's going on with that? Are you really done with streaming? Because I know I kind of abruptly announced it, streamed for like 2 hours, and then I was gone. I'm gonna break it down to why I decided to finally stop streaming on Twitch. I knew that my time was done. I knew it was kind of coming to an end of an era, as some people may say. I just know I needed something different going on in my life because a lot has changed this year versus last year. Last year, I started to kick it into high gear because I had a lot of different things happening with my life. And then this year happened and my mindset changed. It really changed after I got baptized. I don't know if y'all know, I cut my hair. I cut my hair again. So that's one thing that has changed about me. But I mean, let me just start over to where everything first started. Basically, for those who remember, I used to make content on YouTube. I was going by a whole different name, Beast Games, where I just post videos on YouTube. And, you know, I did that for a while. I did that most of 2018 until I found out I was having my first child in 2018. And then I pretty much quit doing YouTube with that, which I wish I would have continued to do that. But, you know, it is what it is. I promised myself, and once she turns 1 in 2019, I'm gonna start streaming on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to do something different, you know, because I've never streamed before. I've never done anything like that before. Like I said, I was doing YouTube, doing content. 2019 comes around, I decided to officially start streaming on Twitch, which was cool. I was streaming straight off the PS4, you know what I'm saying, because you can stream off the console itself. So I did that, and I did it for a while on the PS4 until I was blessed with a PC. Shout out to my wife. She helped me get that, and started streaming on PC, playing, you know, the game I played, Fortnite, or whatever. And I was mixing some games in there too at the same time. Then I finally hit affiliate in April of 2020, and of course 2020, that's when streams started going a little bit better because obviously COVID stuff started happening. So I was able to stream a little bit more, be more active, be more consistent. So, you know, after 2020, stuff happened, and eventually I had to go back to work. And streams kind of slowed down a little bit, which slowed down my motivation or my momentum. After that, you know, I was kind of like off and on with streaming, and then I had other stuff going on in the household, and, you know, life started lifing, you know, jobs were being more dependent on me. I kind of like started to plateau a little bit in, you know, my streaming. You know, my followers were going up, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to do different things when it came to my streams, do like little different events where it had been giveaways or like marathon, subathon, stuff like that. I only did a couple of those, but I tried to do the best I could with the time I had. And of course, I had my second child in 2022, you know, also got married and all that stuff. So a lot of life changes were happening. Stuff that happened in the end of 2023 for my dad. So that kind of put definitely a damper in my momentum when it came to streaming too. And I started to stay positive and motivated to continue to stream like during the summertime, and things started changing. I had a little bit more freedom to stream when I could, when I can, and started getting more motivation, started ramping it up, you know. So I started ramping up the content, started ramping up the streams and stuff like that. And, you know, it started to climb a little bit, and then again started to plateau again. So then at one point I was just like, you know, I was asking God. I was like, God, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to change up the momentum of my streams and stuff like that? In my mind, I'm thinking just continue to post more on YouTube, post more on TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that. Because that was a problem I had for the first 3 years. I wasn't posting anything. I was rarely posting on other platforms because in order to grow on Twitch, which is a very saturated platform, you have to post on social media, you know what I'm saying, to get discoverability so people can find you on social media through, and then go to Twitch to follow your Twitch and all that stuff, support you here and there. And I wasn't doing that. I was rarely posting. I'll post sometimes on TikTok, never posted on YouTube at all. And same thing with Instagram. That's where I realized that where I failed at, you know. I wasn't being consistent. Yeah, I was probably being more consistent with streaming, but I also wasn't being consistent with posting on my other platforms, stuff like that. Which I don't regret, you know what I'm saying? I don't regret anything I did, or, you know, would I have done it differently? Yes. But overall, I was just like, okay. And I realized during this whole time, especially after, you know, when 2025 hit, and I was like, okay, I gotta do something different. Something has to change. Something has to pick up. And I made this thing back here. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's my vision board, and you know, it shows my goals of 2025s. I put my gifts because, you know, I have multiple gifts. You know, y'all know me. Most of y'all know me for just gaming, but before gaming, I was doing music. You know what I'm saying? And music. Music all over me. You know what I'm saying? I've always done music. Music has been a big part of my life for forever. And thing I did not focus on. Put that in the blooper reel. I don't know, where did it go? All right. Anyway, God was not the center of. I guess they want me to pick it up. God was not the center of everything I was doing, especially in 2024. I was just basically doing everything on my own without consulting God and all that stuff. You know, ask God, you know, what do I need to do? What do I need to do, this and that and third? But I guess I wasn't listening. And, you know, I would ask him, you know, show me a sign, or send me a sign of, you know, is Twitch still good for me? Is it not? He was showing me, but I wasn't listening. I was not listening. The Holy Spirit was probably showing me things, telling me things, showing me the numbers and stuff like that. Nobody coming in, all this and that and third. And I just wasn't paying attention, and I just let the days keep going of me streaming and doing this and doing that. And like I said, I just plateaued, and nothing really came about it later on until I got baptized, and that's when my eyes kind of opened, you know. And I realized that Twitch was really a distraction this whole time. What I mean by that is there'll be some days where I would rather stream than to go hang out with friends or even spend time with my family. It was really bad. It was really bad, and I was convicted from that. And you know, I asked God for repent, you know, for doing that. And, you know, it's just a lot of things that kind of opened my eyes to where I was just like, wow, this whole time I could have been focused on one thing, but I was so focused on streaming, the numbers, trying to figure out the content to post, content to stream, stuff like that. When in actuality, it was just a distraction because I started doing music again this year, and I've been getting a lot of love from that. Just off the few posts I've done, and it's just like, this has always been my gift. It's always been my calling, is music. Even from back when me and the homies was doing music together, SGG, if y'all remember that, sharing God's gift, Circle of Kings, you know, I got tatted on me, man. So music stuff, like I said, music has always been a part of my life. I realized that in the past month that Twitch has to go on the back burner for now. I retired from it. Who knows, I might come back to stream GTA 6 whenever that comes out. But we'll have to see. You know, I'll still be posting content like this or something similar on Instagram or TikTok. YouTube gaming, probably not as much. My other YouTube channel, I'll be posting more like vlog stuff and other content that I decide to record or whatever. I think my biggest problem was just fear of failing. And, you know, God didn't give us a spirit of fear. You know, He gave us the power of the love and a sound mind and self-control. I just gotta thank him for just continuing to keep me at his arm reach and still accepting me for who I am through everything, through all this stuff. And I'm just blessed to have met so many people through Twitch. I made a lot of good friends. I probably made some enemies too. I don't know. There's a lot of people that I don't associate with no more, and that's cool. It's the internet. I don't know you personally, and that's fine. But those that I've met through the internet and got to know them personally, I just thank you for allowing me in your space, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't share a lot on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I have a family. I know I'm married with kids, stuff like that. I already still ain't know my full name, and that's okay. But I'm just thankful for everybody who's ever supported the channel, who has came through just to lurk, type in the chat if you did. On this video, type W's in the comments, you know what I'm saying? But I just appreciate everybody who's ever supported the channel in any way, even if it's just a follow. You know what I'm saying? That follow meant a lot. Like I said, I had that serious conversation with God, and he just told me just to let it go. Let it go, You know where you are in your faith and stuff like that, and he didn't leave me, you know what I'm saying? That was my biggest thing. I didn't want God to leave me. I didn't want Jesus Christ to forget me, you know what I'm saying? And I just gotta thank God for everything, man, because without him, none of this would have been possible. Getting a better PC, having the lighting and the monitors. I sold my other monitor. The other monitor's gone. That's how serious I am. I'm really not streaming anymore, unless I do something on TikTok, something like that, off the phone, or if I do anything. You know what I'm saying? I still got all my equipment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not selling that stuff. I'll get rid of any of that stuff just yet, because I might do some little gaming videos here and there. You never know. As far as Twitch, yeah, that's the end of that, man. Again, I do really appreciate everyone who has ever supported that channel in any way. If you're still sub to that channel, unsubscribe. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep paying monthly for somebody who's not gonna stream on here anymore. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just gotta continue to have my faith in what I'm going to do next. And I know music is the biggest thing. I know music is gonna be something I'm coming back to, cause that's, like I said, that's my first love right there, man. Is music. Gaming and stuff is a hobby. I've been doing that since I was a kid too, so it's kind of hand in hand. But definitely getting back to the music is my biggest thing, and I have a mission to accomplish, and I'm just gonna continue to do that and have faith in it. And I just want to thank everybody who's still supporting your boy, and no matter what I'm doing. And also just putting God first. God has to be the center of everything I do. That's most important, for sure. Thank you guys for listening to this message, to this video. Hopefully I don't make it too long. I'll probably cut it up or something like that. But thank you guys again for all the support on Twitch. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.